Hi everybody, it's Carla with Cobweb Corner and welcome to FlossTube number 26. It's been 3 weeks since my last video. I apologize for that. Life just kind of got away from me. I did have a few people reach out to me. I had mentioned that my dad had been sick and they wanted to make sure everything was okay, and it is. We ended up with 3 trips to the emergency room and 4 nights in a hospital, but he is on the mend and they seem to have his blood pressure under control, so all's good there. He's starting to get out of the house now again and be a little bit more active, so I'm really hoping that they have his medication dialed in this time. So thank you to everybody who was wondering and everyone who reached out to me. The other thing that got me a little off schedule was we went to Las Vegas with some friends of ours for 4 nights and we had a great time. It was very, very hot, but we sat by the pool, we walked a lot regardless of the heat, we gambled a little bit, we had some fabulous food, we went up in the high roller, it's not a Ferris wheel, but Ferris wheel type thing, and just visited and had a wonderful time. So it was really nice to get away a little bit and spend some time with some good friends. What else happened? I've been working out. We've gone on a couple bike rides and I've been running. I actually had a personal best last week I run a 5K. So I run right from the house. I've never done a 5K race, but I leave right from our house and we live out in the country, and I run down to, there's about half a mile to get to the highway, and then I run the highway and I run 5 kilometers and then I walk 1.5 kilometers back to the house as a cool down. And last week I had a personal best time on my 5K run, which I'm pretty happy I can still do that. It's very slow, not going to win any races or anything like that, but I'm glad that I can be on the little bit older side and still have some improvements. You want to come up, Bo? Come on. In my time. So that's good. The only problem I'm having is my joints are really bothering me when I ride a bike. And in 3 weeks, the last weekend of September, we are going to Kentucky for a 3-day bike ride. And we're going to be riding bikes probably 6 to 7 hours a day. So I'm a little bit nervous about that. We'll see how that goes. I didn't get any stitchy mail this week, but I did get my Ebates Rakuten check in. So this is, you can see it was $78.14. And if you shop online and you haven't signed up for Ebates yet, or it's Rakuten, Rakuten, and I don't know why they changed the name when Ebates made so much sense, but the way it works is you create an account and you when you shop, you go to their site first, and let's say you want to shop at Macy's, and so you type in Macy's and you find that, and it might say 3% cash back. Well, all you do is you click the link, it takes you to Macy's site, you do your shopping, you pay, and you get a 3% rebate, and they send out a check every quarter. So this quarter was $78, so that's pretty cool. I've gotten some bigger amounts back. One time we did a Marriott hotel and it was a 12% cash back. They do a lot of bigger cash backs at Christmas time, so I really use it there. And we just bought a TV and we got 1% cash back at Best Buy for that. So I'll put the link below if you're interested. If you're an online shopper at all, it's just a great way to get a tiny bit of extra cash every 3 months. Let's see what's on my list here. Oh, I'm going to have a coupon code for anybody watching this week. So if you want to shop at Cobweb Corner, this coupon code will be good through Friday, September 13th. And the code is F as in Frank, T as in Tom, 26CCS. And I'll put that in the text below, and I'll also put it down below in the information. And that reminds me, a lot of people have, not a lot, but a few people have commented or contacted me and said, I don't see where all your links and your extra information is. If you're new to YouTube and you're watching a video, there's either a little down arrow in the lower right hand corner, or if you look under the video, there's a show more. And that will have all the descriptive information that the person creating the video has entered for you to have as a reference after you watch the video. And other people have asked me, they say they don't know, they can't comment, that there's no place to comment for the giveaways. And if you're on a tablet or a phone, you'll see the video you're watching, and then it'll be a whole list of videos that are coming up, or suggested videos to watch next. And the public comments, the enter a public comment, is down underneath those suggested videos. It's a lot more clear if you're watching the video on a PC, but if you're on a mobile device, you need to scroll past those first. And that also reminds me, we are up to 384 subscribers. I am like, wow, we're almost to 400. I would love to get to 400 subscribers by next video. So if you want to share, or if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, consider clicking the subscribe button. And then after you subscribe, if you click the little bell, you get notified whenever there's a new video uploaded. Let's see. Oh, and I also want, so what the coupon code is, I got off on a tangent there. Sorry, I've been like this like all week. So we have the coupon code that you can use until September 13th, and that will give you 10% off any regular price cross stitch books designs. So not thread, not accessories or things like that, but you'll get 10% off. If you're a new customer and you've never ordered from Cobweb Corner, you can get 20% off everything, all regular priced items with coupon welcome CC, and I'll put that down below too. So that's a coupon that you can use once. You have to create an account in order to use it, but it gives you 20% off everything but floss, I believe, and sale items. So okay, last week's giveaway was for 3 charts. It was Chrysanthemum Mumford and Wanda Witch by Stitch in Time, and this one was by Calico Crossroads, and the third one was Celestial Cat by Kind Hearted Woman. And the winner for that, the question was, what do you like about this time of year? And we had 9 comments, and the winner was Desiree Feaster. I am so sorry, Desiree. Every time you win, I get your name wrong. Desiree Feaster. And she said she loves August, and she loves summer in general, and it's her favorite time of year. So Desiree, I have your address, and I will get those in the mail to you. Okay, I did get some stitching done, and I actually have a finished, and it's close enough to finish that for all intents and purposes I'm calling it a finished. And I was stitching So She Did by It's So Emma for our Stitch and Move group, and we thought that the message, she believed she could, so she did, was fitting for our group, so we had a stitch along. And all I have left is to attach 3 more buttons, and a button here and a button here, and I'm done. So I'm really excited about that. I did stitch quite a while. I thought it took quite a bit to do the inside light turquoise, and but the words went really super fast, and everything else was very, very quick stitch. So I really like the design. I will probably frame it. I'm thinking I'll frame it in kind of a country white antique looking frame. I'm not exactly sure. So I haven't started a new project yet, but let's see. What I'm going to start next is Sweeping Cobwebs by the Prairie Schooler. And this is a Halloween stitch along. We have a Facebook group called Sweeping Cobwebs Sal, and I'll put the link to that below. And we have, I think, 58 people now stitching this design. So it started on August 22nd, but a number of people couldn't start until September, and I didn't want to start until I had finished my other stitch along project. So I think I'm going to do this on the Called For Lamb's Wool Linen by Witchelt, And although I'm going to look through my fabric stash and see what I might do, and I'm going to use the called for DMC colors. So it's really, it says, "'Tis the night of Halloween when witches can be seen. With her broom she will fly, sweeping cobwebs from the sky." And then there's a second design too. If you join the Stitch Along, there is a coupon code that will give you a discount so you can get that chart for $8. It's regular $12. And I'll put that link below too. That's about it for stitchy news. I haven't ordered anything new for me personally, and all I really did was work on that project and try to get that done. So I'm going to move on to the business side, business segment, sorry, business segment of the video. And this week's topic is abandoned carts. And this is a huge term in marketing when you have an online store, and it's a big problem that every online store owner tries to figure out how to resolve. And an abandoned cart is when someone comes to your site and adds at least one item to their shopping cart, but then leaves and doesn't finish. So I have a number of statistics that I'm provided on that, but knowing what to do with that information is a completely different thing. And it's a big problem. The industry average is, or the overall average for abandoned carts is about 68%. So 68% of the people who come to a website will add something to their cart, but then not complete the purchase. And the main reason for that by far is unexpected cost, and that would usually be shipping, but that means they have to go all the way to the checkout screen or unless they're shown shipping before them. The second largest reason is just browsing, and I would say that has to be one of the main reasons for me. I go in and I start shopping, and I even may spend an hour looking at stuff and adding things to my cart, and then I just decide, maybe the doorbell rings or my phone rings, or I just decide I really don't need this stuff, and I leave it there. So what, as a shop owner, can I do to reduce abandoned carts or to try to get those people back? Everything that I read, the main thing to get people to finish their purchase, and we've all gotten these, are abandoned cart emails. And Cobweb Corner does send abandoned cart emails. So it'll come, you'll get an email maybe 24 hours after you've added some things to your cart but didn't finish, and it'll say, "Hey, you left your cross stitch project sitting in your cart," or I don't know what the wording I have in there is, and don't forget about it. And I just send the one, and I have about, I don't know, maybe a 20% rate where people will come back in and end up buying. But often it's my regular customers, and people will just go through and browse over a number of days and add things to their cart until they're finally ready to check out. So why does it happen in the first place? One of the other reason is that the checkout process is too complex. And I've tried to look at our checkout process and see what I could eliminate, but basically it just asks for your name and address, billing name and shipping name and address, and how you want to have it shipped and how you want to pay. So I'm not sure what else I can do to make it more simple. Another reason is technical difficulties, and you would be surprised how many people, if you have a technical difficulty on your checkout process, you may not know about it. One time all of a sudden I noticed I wasn't getting people paying by Amazon Pay. And I don't have a lot of people pay by Amazon Pay, but it's pretty steady. And I kind of ignored it and forgot about it. And like 2 months later, I'm like, I'm still not getting payments by Amazon Pay. And so I finally went to my website and tested it, and an error message came up if you clicked on the Pay with Amazon button. And I was like, man, how many sales have I lost because of that? Because that doesn't look very good, but nobody tells you. It's like, it would be nice, which of course they're not going to. They're like, customers are are frustrated that they got to that point and then they try to pay and the way they want to pay isn't available. And so I wish that it would be like, oh my gosh, tell me what happened to my site, you know, but I can certainly understand why that never happens. And other than that, it's like, I really don't know why people leave. And it's kind of like, especially if they get all the way to the checkout process, it's kind of like somebody coming into your store and picking up a shopping basket and putting a bunch of stuff in the basket and maybe even getting in line for checkout, and then they leave. But of course, it's way easier to do that online. So there are other things that marketers try to get you to do. And one of them is the exit pop-up. And I refuse to do this one. It's where you've added some things to your cart and you may be in checkout or not, and you go to click the X to close the window. And a pop-up screen says, don't leave now, save 10% with your, order, and gives you a code or says, hey, don't leave, this might not be here when you get back, things like that. And I hate those. You have to then close the window. And, I have a couple annoying things on my site that I use and that are beneficial to me, but that's one that I just won't do. And other than that, there's not much you can do other than send multiple emails. So maybe you send an email out 24 hours after someone leaves an item in their shopping cart, and then maybe you go 10 days later. And I don't want to do that either. I just do the one hey, don't forget about us email and go from there. But it would really be nice if when people were leaving, if they could like telecommunicate to me what it is that they're left. Did they think our shipping was too high? Did they think we had to enter too much information? Did they not understand the checkout process? Was the chart total a little bit of a sticker shock? Things like that. So that's something that every single online owner deals with, and there are all kinds of companies that want to take our money that will say we'll help you reduce your abandoned cart rate, and those people I just ignore because I'm not sure that they can really help. So that's your business lesson for today. And I've gotten a lot of comments from people that say they really enjoy the business segments. And if there's anything in particular that you would like me to talk about or you're curious about, please leave a comment or send a message to me or email me. My email address is below. And I'm willing to share almost everything with you guys. So if you're wondering, what we do in such and such case, or you'd like to know how we handle a circumstance or something like that, or what kind of expenses I have, things like that, then feel free to ask. If it's something I don't feel like sharing, then I'll let you know. Okay, this week's giveaway. This week's giveaway is going to be for Strawberry Fields by Blackbird Designs. Strawberry Fields Forever. And it's part of the Magical Mystery Tour series. And I love this design. It's very popular on our website. And to enter the giveaway for this, tell me whether you're a cat person, a dog person, an other person, or you just don't like animals. So maybe you're a horse person or something like that. Which reminds me, I love horses. I've never owned a horse, and I haven't ridden for a long time. When I was young, I had a friend who had horses and we rode all the time. And every chance I get, I go on a horseback riding ride, on trail ride, on vacation and stuff. And there's a stable near us, only about a 10-minute drive from us, and they do adult lessons, and I signed up. So this Monday, I'm going to have my first horseback riding lesson. I took lessons when my daughter was young. We had to drive, probably 35, 40 minutes to get to her lesson, and it was every day. And I could either take her and then sit there for 3 hours, because it was all kids, young kids, like 7, 8 years old. And, or I could sign up and take lessons with her. So I was the only, I'll say at that point, I would have been about 40 years old. I was the only adult in this class with all these little kids, but we had a blast. We did 2 weeks worth, and that was a lot of fun, but that was a long time ago. So yesterday I went and toured the facility and spoke with the owner, and she was really nice, and we met some of the horses, and she showed me around, and I'm going to give my first lesson a try. And if it goes well, I'm going to sign up for a package of 8 lessons. So I will keep you guys informed on how that goes. All right, so new inventory this week. First of all, I put a huge order in to Hoffman, and a lot of it was restock, bestseller restock. So I'm just going to show you a few of our really good sellers that are back in stock. Plum Street Samplers, Olga's Autumn Stocking. I love the stocking. I love the black cat on the plaid pumpkin. I don't know if you call that plaid or not. Patterned pumpkin. That one's back. Jolly Jack. I've seen some people on other videos and on YouTube or Instagram who are stitching this. It's a very quick stitch. Love that. That's by All Through the Night. Silver Creek Samplers, Scary Things October Brings. This one says Ghosts, Black Cats, and Flying Bats, Scary Things Unseen, Pumpkins Glowing, Winds Are Blowing, Boo, It's Halloween. And this one has just gone crazy. This is Dorothy's Discovery, and I've sold out of it twice. And it says, the power is there whenever you choose. It's found in the heart, not in your shoes. Love that. That's back in stock. Another one by Silver Creek Samplers, Promise of Spring. And this one really is suitable for winter season, even though it's about spring. And it says, no winter lasts forever. No spring skips its turn. And it shows the tulips starting to come up through the snow. And a newer chart that has been super popular is An American Truck by Homespun Elegance. Sorry. Isn't that cute? It's an easy stitch. It's got the flowers in the bed of the truck and the flag. Really like that. Another one that's been selling is Halloween in the Rain by Coeur Ibeticourt. And also by Coeur Ibeticourt is Shabby Autumn Calendar. I really, really like those designs. And this one sells out almost immediately every time I get it in stock. And it's Halloween Village Collector Series Afghan. And I'm going to show you the back. That's the whole design. So the design is amazing, first of all. And this is by Stony Creek. And it's shown on an Afghan, but I'm assuming you could, I don't know how it would look not on an Afghan, but it is so cool. And it's divided into 30 separate blocks. And it's got a nice long floss list there. So that's been really popular. And I love this one. This is another restock. Read me a story, tuck me in tight, say a sweet prayer. Now I lay me down to sleep and kiss me goodnight. And that's by Stony Creek. And another one by Stony Creek is Autumn Sampler. It's so pretty, and it's honestly, it's not very difficult. So that's just beautiful, I think. And Imaginating, Whisper of God. This is a little bit newer chart. Oh, no, it's not. 191998, book 11998. I had not had it in my shop before, and I've had to restock it twice. And it says, let us be silent that we may hear the whisper of God. And that's a quote by Emerson. Another one I have restocked multiple times by Imaginating, Ursula Michael. This is part of her Let's series, her Word Cloud series, and this is Home of the Free Because of the Brave. Another by Ursula Michael. Let's Be Magical. And then this one is an older design that I just happened to run across on Witchell's site. And this is the third time I've restocked it. It's Peekaboo, and it's got the black cat peeking out of the knitting basket. And then Nora Corbett's Electra from the Bewitching Pixies series. And hands-on design. This one's everybody's seen, but it just keeps selling out. A year of celebrations. This is a great chart. You get 12 individual things plus 2 for Canada for November and July. And the Misfit, got a polar bear hanging out with the penguins. And Do Small Things with Great Love by The Drawn Thread. And Sunnyside Sampler by The Drawn Thread. And then I've restocked the Halloween Just Cross Stitch issue. And there are 27 designs. So those are best-selling restock that was entered this week. Brand new to Cobweb Corner inventory is What I Make with My Hands, I Give with My Heart by Hands-On Design. And look at everything you get with that. You get, so all these flowers here are all included. Plus you get buttons and you get felt to make the heart. So it's a great, you don't get, you know, fabric and floss, but you get all the extras that you don't have to worry about. And then I've continued the series by Ellen Maurer-Stroh. I don't know how you say that. M-A-U-R-E-R. I'm terrible with names. And this is from the Babies in Costume series. I think there's like 7 of those now. We've got that one, and I love this one. The little angel with the floss. And then by Hands-On Design now, we've got Rose Cottage and Tulip House. Those are in stock. And then I also added the entire set of A Year in Chalk by Hands-On Design. That's been new. And a new one by Corey Batticore is I can't remember what it is. Unfior A Flower Between the Pages. That's how it translates. And it's the same design, but you can do it in different color schemes. So bookmark design. And the new Happy Camper by It's So Emma. So those are what's new to Cobweb Corner. Now, what I wanted to do, instead of highlighting an older designer or older charts, is this week I also entered a bunch of charts that were purchased from a individual's collection. So they're used. And on the site they're called pre-owned, and I entered, I don't know, maybe 50 of them, and I'm going to just show you a few. Now this is why when you shop on Cobweb Corner, because we do sell new and used, that you always read the description statement. So in the description of every item, there's going to be a line in red, and it'll say condition. And it says new, it's new. It was bought from Hoffman or a store that went out of business or something like that. If it's pre-owned, then it will say what the condition of that item is. And that's sometimes why you'll see the same item, the same design on our site with different prices, because maybe one's in kind of poor condition and one's brand new or something like that. So these that I entered were mostly from the late 80s to the early 90s, and some are obviously vintage, and then there's some great charts in here. This one is by Pointe de Croix. It's called Tattoo. And then we've got really old from the 80s. Bo, come on up. Come here. There's Bo. She's bugging me, and she's going to snag my new shirt. So we'll see how she does. Then I've got some Curtis Bowinger. And Friends and Stitches by the Needles Work. And this one says Friends and Stitches are friends from the heart. And this is another one. This is number 4 in the series, and I really like this one. It says Friends and Stitches ignore your dirty dishes. But it's a beautiful band sampler. And then we have some old vintage designs by the Abastarian. That one is called the Peace Sampler. And I love this one. The Vowel Sampler, A-E-I-O-U, with the full alphabet down below. Isn't that cool? And then from, oh, that's my hair. Got the Potters, Pueblo Potters. Let's see if we get to some interesting ones here. Then we've got the really old Leisure Arts. Now these are priced accordingly, so these are in good shape, and those are for waste canvas. We got Santa's Alphabet, Protect and to Preserve. So we get into the very old vintage. Sorry, my cat is like gonna tear me apart. You need to stay down. Then we've got the Drawn Thread Spring and Summer. So, and then I really like this one. This is another Abastarian. It's Richer Than Me You Can Never Be. I Had a Mother Who Read to Me. Isn't that cool? And that's from 1992. You are being a little bit of a pest. She wants to be up on my shoulder, and I don't like her up on my shoulder because she scratches me. We've got Hearts Come Home by Better Homes and Garden, Celtic Blessing, another Drawn Thread Winter White Work Sampler, and let's see, another Drawn Thread Christmas Cheer, and Inspirations. Yes, I love you too. And then we have some City Stitcher designs, and these are pretty hard to find sometimes. This one is Summer Garden Stitcheries. Isn't that cool? I love the crow on the sunflower. And Nantucket Sampler. And this one I really like. That is called Salty Santa, and it's Santa Claus in rain gear with a boat and the Christmas tree in the boat. It's really unique. And some more Curtis Borner. That one is called Hometown Days Sampler, and it says Hometown Days on the bottom. You're going down. Cedar Hill Shaker Seeds. And this is another one I like, Gathering Pine Cones. Let's see if it has a date on it. This is from 1998. It's by Hillside Samplings. And I don't know if you can see it, but every pine cone is patterned, has a different pattern to it, and it uses a number of specialty stitches. So it's a lot more interesting than it might first appear. And also by Hillside Samplings from 2003 is Legacy Sample, and it says, with careful hands our work complete, let kindness guide our deeds. For knowledge, friendship, and virtue seek our legacy flowers, not weeds. Isn't that a beautiful sampler? I just love that. And the last one is Flowers and Letters in You, Oh My, and this is from 2000, and it's also by Hillside Sampling, and it's an alphabet sampler banner. So that's just a few of some pre-owned items to give you an idea. And you need to just always, like I said, read the condition statement. If there's something wrong with it, like let me find one that's older. Like this one, I'll say that some of the pages are a little yellowed. I'll mention that there's some corner wear and maybe there's some scuffing. from storage, and it'll be pretty clear, and I try to be very honest. And when it's pre-owned, I never price like I purchased it from a wholesale account, because I usually get those quite a bit cheaper. So you can get some good deals. There's some things here that were only $1, and even the City Stitcher things I think were only like $5 or $6. So I think that's it. Yes, my list is complete. This weekend, football season has started. Last night we watched the Bears and the Packers, which neither one of those are our teams. We're kind of a Minnesota Vikings and Philadelphia Eagles house. But my husband, who is a huge football buff, he went to North Dakota State University, NDSU, and a number of NDSU players have been drafted into the NFL. So we kind of watch any team that might have somebody we recognize from his school. So last night, each team, the Packers and the Bears, both had players who were from his college. So we kind of keep up on that, and it's a lot of fun. And I didn't used to be into football, but my husband always was. And finally, I was like, you know, this is something that I'm going to be watching for many months out of the year, and I might as well start to enjoy it. So I've really gotten into it now. And when my daughter went to college, she was in the marching band. So we went to a number of home games to watch her march, and then to watch the football team too. And I've actually really enjoyed it. And we've flown out to Philadelphia twice to go to games, and we flew to Dallas to go to a game. And this year we're hoping to go to a game in the new stadium in Minneapolis. And the game we're hoping to go to is the Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll see how that goes. And I think that's it. I'm going to try to get my new project started, and try to get back into exercising and have my first horseback riding lessons. So we'll see how all that goes. Lots of things to do. Thanks again to everybody who reached out and asked about my dad and wondered where I was, since I hadn't posted a video for 3 weeks, and now I hope to get back at it. All the important links are down below, and I appreciate your watching and subscribing.